Hey YouTube, Brutus said I have about 15 minutes, that it's a work night. 15 minutes? Okay, he said 15. Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. Let me get this where you guys can see my face. Alright, hey, I hope everybody's had a good Monday. It's our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and I want to do this again at 5,000. So that'll be the goal. So I need you guys to help getting to the 5,000 mark. You know, will it take a year, 2 years, 6 months? Who knows? But I'm going to keep doing it until we get to that number at least. So it's finally time to get this jet out of my workshop so I can put something else up here. And like I said, the first place winner is going to win this jet. If you happen to live outside of the United States, I'll send you one of these directly from Horizon Hobbies, and then I'll draw a second name and we'll mail that to someone in the U.S. If I happen to draw a second name outside of the U.S., I'm just going to skip that person and go to another one. I have no way of knowing who lives where until the winner contacts me. So if the winner of this jet is from out of the country, I'll make sure that you guys know, and we'll draw another name. So for the first place prize, I got the FMS Avanti jet. For the second place, we've got a cordless soldering iron kit. It's new. And for the third place, we've got a awesome windsock. Pretty dang big too. So what I thought would be cool is to go through everybody's name. I transferred everybody's name from the YouTube comments over into a list. That way I can cut everybody's name out and throw it into a hat. So let's go through this list for a minute. It's kind of fun. Let's run through the names here. So we were going to start with Easy Boy RC. So what I did is I transferred everybody's name into a list. That way I could print it out and cut everybody's name up to fold up and put in the hat or the box. So we'll just run through them real quick, and I figured this would be a little entertaining. So Easy Boy RC is our number one. You can see I transferred him right over here to the right. And then we talked about how people entered, and then they also left a comment. So Matt Lowe is not transferred. And then Alden is moved over. And we got the Runscaper and Adam Schuler, and the Runscaper and Adam Schuler. And then we got Nicole and Cali RC Pilot, and there's Nicole and Cali RC Pilot. California, that's where I'm from. But 1995 is when I left there. And then we got Elsie, and then there's Elsie, and then, boy, if I'm butchering your name, I'm sorry, but Asim, but Asim's right there. All right. And then this was not a enter. And then we go down here to Rachel Chenoweth. And then there's Rachel. And the DSL Exic Pilot. He's also Captain Hardaway. He's right there. Also left a comment. Thank you. Then there's Lynn Schuler and a Mr. and a Carrie. And there's Lynn Schuler, Mr. and a Carrie. And Jessica Thompson and Karen, and then there's Jessica Thompson and Karen, and here's your tools for your home, and then Dr. Frost, and your tools for your home, and Dr. Frost, and there's Tom Schuler. Hey Tom. And Rock Panda and Doc, and then there's Rock Panda and Doc, and then we got Josh Taylor and Dingo and Pete. And there's Josh Taylor, Dingo and Pete. There's Ri-Fi. Hey, buddy. And let's roll this up here. And there's Ri-Fi. And then this person's screen name is only a dash and a dot. So we got the dash and the dot. And we'll roll this up here. We'll start with Kamel. Alright, so there's Kamel and Brad Reed and Danny and Joshua, and Brad Reed, Danny and Joshua. And then we got the Mojo Man and Rodney Thompson. And here's our Mojo Man and Rodney Thompson. And TLG and Aqualis and TLG and the Qualies. And we got a little extreme and Paulo, and a little extreme and Paulo. And then we're looking for a Chris Harley and a Dan, and then there's a Chris Harley and a Dan, and we got Jim Worley. But I recognize your name since the beginning. Hey, Jim. And Just Another Train, and where were we? We were down here with Jim and Just Another Train, and then John and Rick. All right, so let's roll this up to another page here, starting with the Rocket Man. Rocket Man left a comment plus entered, so there's Rocket Man, and then we got the Mad at the Sky. We got Just Razor and Malatoke and Just Razor. And I caught myself there. Malatoke did not put enter. And Bob Kraus. Silver Fox. Alexis Hall. And Goofy and Grumpy. There's Silver Fox, Alexis Hall, and Goofy and Grumpy. And then this one's cool. Delphinus Airways. And we got the Delphinus Airways. All right, anybody needs a flight, we've got our own airway company here. So that's good to know. All right, David Silva. And this is a good one here. Look at here. A Girl Who Loved Chickens. So we got the Girl Who Loved Chickens transferred over here to the enter list. And Matt Lowe and Gilbert and Chris. And Matt Lowe, Gilbert and Chris. And Rudy and Milton and Kathy. And then there's a Rudy, Milton, and Kathy. Smart right there. Maybe that's a husband and wife. And then we got the TM Judd and Jack's Emporium of Stuff. And the TM Judd and Jack's Emporium. All right. And then we got Geisy and Rick Taylor and Geisy and Rick Taylor and the James Smith. Hey, James. And Hanger 79. James Smith. Hanger 79. And Mike's RC and Tom Schuler. Mike's RC and Tom Schuler. Now, there's two Tom Schulers, and I've verified that they're separate. So then we got the Indian 3454, and here's the Indian 3454. And that's Tom left a comment. So we got Tracy Jackson and the Island RC Duke. And then there's Tracy Jackson and the Island RC Duke. And then Jonathan and Pork Chop and Crutch. And Jonathan, Pork Chop and Crutch. Bob Littlefield and Robert and Alex. And Bob Littlefield, Robert and Alex. And Chris Martin left a comment there, but he entered right below. And then, hey, Marty. There's Marty. And Chris and Marty and Tim Lewis. All right, so let's go down to the next page here. All right, so there's Harvey and Squid Daddy. And we got Harvey and Squid Daddy and Jay Hart and Rippo. And Jay Hart and Rippo. And then Terry Bell and Steve Barr. Hey, Steve. Terry Bell, Steve Barr. We got Fred Foster and Dean Wilkinson. And there's Fred Foster and a Dean Wilkinson. Here's Chris and Tyson and Mark. And Chris, Tyson, Mark. And Tori and Just Enough RC. And then there's Tori and Just Enough RC. And then we got Larry Leach and Send It RC. And here's Larry Leach and Send It RC. And Larry Hawks. Larry, you've been around since like day one. Hey there. Did you ever get the Havoc going? And Jerry Sullivan entered right here. So we got Larry and Jerry. And then we're looking for a Patrick. There's Patrick Henry. LA Nashville left a comment there. So we're at the Patrick Henry. And then LA Nashville left a enter. That's where I live, Nashville. And Mike FPV. And then there's Mike FPV. And let's roll this on down. We're looking for a Dave Kiersey. And there's Dave Kiersey. And there's Bodai. And David Hart. And there's Bodai and David Hart.
And then we got another David and the blue 68 Camaro. Boy, I bet that's cool. And there's David in the blue 68 Camaro. And there's K-Way. That's who's responsible for our uniforms, guys. And boy, I hate to... We'll just go with Salazar and NWI Tim Weaver. And there's Salazar and NWI Tim Weaver. And 1964 Mark. And 1964 Mark. And Sir J. Michael Brazil. Right there. Hey there. And Litz RC and Georgie. Georgie's been around since day one. Hey, Georgie. And Litz RC and Georgie. And they were looking for a Steve and a Ray and Justin. Steve, Ray, Justin. Alrighty. So then we're going for Randy Hardy and Rick and Tommy. Randy Hardy, Rick and Tommy. And then we got Bill and Randy BRC and Poker 81 and Bill and Randy BRC. And there's Poker 81. And then look here, we got the Martian Monkey. So we got Martian Monkey and Scott and Tom. There's the Martian Monkey, Scott and Tom. And Just Plain Nuts, Can't Sleep, and Randy Jackson. Just Plain Nuts, Can't Sleep, Randy Jackson. And Dennis, Richard, and Jim. Dennis, Richard, and Jim. And Stan and G. Martin. Hey, Gary. And Adam. So there's Jim, Stan, G. Martin. Let's roll us up here to Adam Rogers at the top. So there's Adam Rogers, and there's Quilong and William. Quilong and William. So Roy, looking for Roy. We got Roy and T-Boys and Donald, and Roy, T-Boys, and Donald. And we got Carrie and Tron Brew and Chad. And then there's Carrie, Tron Brew, and Chad. And then we're looking for the AAA model trains and Dave Garbett. And there's our winner from 100. And so we got the AA model trains and Dave. And then Tommy Hawk and Ruffines. Ruffines has been around since day one. So there's Tommy Hawk and Ruffines and Jason Austin. Caught you, Jason. There's Jason Austin and Simon. So we got Jason Austin and Simon. And Caesar and Andy. And then there's Caesar and Andy. And Call Me Chip 2. Alright. So we're looking for a Jeffrey Lewis. Jeffrey Lewis and the TXK Flyer. Now this right here is the #1 AR636 programmer. You guys need anything, any tips on how to program those receivers? This guy, look at his channel. He knows how to do it. And then we got, let's see, Gargoyle Gaming AMC. And the Gargoyle Gaming AMC. And then we got David Ray and Golden Dredger. David Ray and Golden Dredger. Golden Dredger's been around since day one. Hey, guys. Alright, that's it. Back to the other me.
Alright, guys. Hey, without further ado, I'm going to cut everybody's name up, drop it in a box, and shake it up. And then I'll just pull 1, 2, and 3. So we got the FMS Avanti Jet #1, #2, the cordless soldering iron kit, #3, the windsock. I'll put the names of the winners in a list at the end of the video, and then you'll find my email in the About section on the main page of our YouTube channel. So if you click on my logo that my dad drew, and that should take you to the main page, and in the About section you'll find my email. Then send me an email and with your name and your address and all that stuff, and I'll send this stuff out to you just in time for Christmas. If I check my emails, I will check them on Tuesday and mail everything out Wednesday morning. So if I get responses back that quick. So all right, let me grab my box and my list here and my scissors. Oh, had 152 entries. So, I said, hey, you want to win this jet? I had a drawing at 100 and only 30 signed up. It could be like a 1 in 300 chance. Now it's like a 1 in 152. So, pretty good for the jet. All right, let me grab my box and the names. Okie dokie, we got us a magic box, courtesy of the post office. They loaned it to us. I put some tape on the bottom so no one's name will get caught under the flap. And then, in order from the bottom of the list to the top, I sliced out everybody's name. And we're just going to chop you off in there. We'll close the lid and give it a shake. Like so. Ooh, caught it. Now there's a blank one right there, so we're going to make sure that one doesn't go in. The blank one, and then the nothing. And last but not least, no spillage. Number one for the jet. Number one for the jet. Call me Chip 2. Call me Chip 2 for the Avanti. Now for the soldering iron. Jerry Sullivan. Jerry Sullivan for the soldering iron. And for the wind sock is Tommy Malone. So, Call Me Chip 2 wins the Avanti, Jerry Sullivan for the soldering iron, and Tommy Malone. If you want to win a jet like this, all you have to do is subscribe. Click the like button and leave a comment. And then ring the bell so you don't miss my next video. At 1,000 subscribers, we gave this jet away. At 5,000, we're going to give another one. I don't know what it is yet. We'll see when that time comes. So hey, subscribe guys. Happy flying.